Yo, what is going on? Good morning. This is Andrew, known as Zero Draw Drew from Pip Catchers Administration. Welcome back to another video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like this, subscribe to the channel. It'll keep us motivated to put this content out every day. So we're here with a weekly analysis. So we already marked up everything, so we're just going to go over everything for you guys, okay? So let's get into it. Gbp Usd on the weekly chart. As you can see, we dropped to the bottom of these lows, right? We had this U resistance. We had this crown pattern. I've been talking about this these past couple weeks on my YouTube channel. If you've been here, you know. But if you're new, go back and check that out. So, anyways, we are reading this downward momentum on the long-term Gbp Usd, right? So, if we look on the daily chart now, we sold off very hard. We came up. In the beginning of the week, we rejected this resistance level. We had this doji, and then we slammed down below support, right? So there is bearish momentum. On Friday, we had this bullish candle that basically just retested that 1.34120 key zone, right? So right now there are bulls in the equation at the moment, but on Monday there is a possibility that this is engulfed, because overall we are bearish on the weekly chart, but we do want to play it by day, right? So on the weekly chart, one thing that I do notice, we dropped into this value right here, so there is a chance that we do come up and retest this 1.34800 key zone, which is right here on the hourly chart. Over there, that's where all buyers liquidity is. All buyers liquidity is above this trend line right here, and these key resistance levels listed. This key resistance is 1.34800, and this 1.34500 key zone is what we're looking at, right? So on the hourly chart, we do have an A, B, C, D to the upside, so there is a possibility that we may see a little upside in the beginning of the week. On the 15-minute chart, what I do notice is we're sort of starting to form this crown-like pattern, where I could see potential bear traps right here. If you see bear traps to this level right here, look for buy opportunities to the right shoulder, but overall target, the buyer liquidity level, which would be above, these trend lines listed, right? So that is Gbp Usd. We're going to go over everything more towards the end, but let me get to these other pairs first. So now we're at Gbp Jpy. Gbp Jpy, we didn't have much volume last week. This is something that I really wouldn't want to trade, to be honest with you, but we're going to go over it anyways. So on the weekly chart, we had this indecisive week. It is bearish momentum in general. Right now it is reading bearish momentum in general. One thing I did notice is USD JPY last week blew up, right? But also the pound dropped. So there was a little divergence there. Divergence just basically means the opposite. So that's probably what gave us this consolidating market, because one was going up, one was going down. So Gbp JPY just didn't know what to do in general, right? But overall, we are bearish on the weekly chart, right? On the daily chart, like I said, we didn't get much momentum at all. So Gbp Jpy, there really isn't much to play with, right? So you just want to wait for price action on Gbp Jpy. We still need, we need a little bit more than this. But one thing that I do notice is we dropped into this support level, this 152.550 key zone. We came back into this value, which is basically like right here or right here. So you could play with these levels and just kind of play it by day, but keep in mind that we are in a ranging market. Take 1-to-1 trades, go for 10 pips, 20 pips, whatever. But you just want to basically look at these key levels and react to what you see, because we're in this range. So that's the type of market we're in with Gbp Jpy, and it's up to you if you want to trade it. There's better things to trade, to be honest with you. Just if you got to trade Gbp Jpy, play with those levels. Okay, so that is Gbp Jpy. We're going to go over everything else and more towards the end. So just stay tuned. So Euro USD, all right, I called this. I said that we were going to have bearish momentum on Euro USD. I said that, we had this bull trap. I said that once we get this wick, once this wick is taken out, you know, price is going to move down, and that's what happened. Price took out that wick, and then we just slammed. So let's just get into this. So Euro USD, right, on the weekly chart, we are bearish, but look, as you can see, we're approaching this support level at 1.14260 key zone, right? So on the daily chart, we are still bearish, but you can see right here we have this doji candle indicating that, you know, price is still thinking of where it wants to go, but overall it is down, right? But we might get a little pullback in the beginning of the week, right? So we are watching that support level that I said before, which is right here, this 1.14250 key zone, 250 key zone, right? Which would be, you know, somewhere over here. So I do see on a 4-hour chart that we have like a U-like resistance where all buyers liquidity is above this 1.14850 key zone, right? So possibly I want to see sellers become exhausted to trade towards that buyer liquidity level on Euro USD. We're watching these key support levels listed. We're watching this trend line, so on, so forth. So that is Euro USD. Gold, I got a 4-hour chart broken out with the gold right now. So let's just go over this real quick. Gold, XAUUSD, right? We're strongly bullish on the weekly chart. We called this last week. I said that we were going to push through this 1833's resistance level. If you want to go back and watch that, go for it. We've called this shit zero draw. Not zero draw, but you get the picture. We called it. So, yeah, we finally broke above buyer liquidity level. We broke above buyer liquidity level pretty hard. You know, we didn't reject prior, so, you know, there is a possibility that this can be a fake out. But looking at the weekly chart, we need more price action before, you know, we can even see a fake out, right? So on the weekly chart, bulls are very strong. On the daily chart, bulls are strong, but we need a pullback. This is something I really wouldn't want to touch yet with gold. But one thing that I do notice is we're approaching this trend line right here. This trend line is where all buyers' liquidity is. Where all buyers' liquidity is. So on a daily chart, there is a possibility if price breaks above and then drops back into value, you know, you could look for short opportunities down to, you know, the support levels listed. So you want to wait for that. You want to wait for price action to set up. On the 4-hour chart, we're watching all these levels listed. We're watching, you know, 63, 75. We're watching this trend line. We're watching this key support. Because one thing that I do notice is we are reading this crown-like pattern on an hourly chart. So there is a possibility if we don't get that bull trap first, look for bear traps to this zone to trade back towards that trend line, because overall we probably are going to break above that trend line. But from that, you know, we'll be able to make our decision. So we need a little bit more price action with gold before we do anything. But overall, all buyers' liquidity on gold is above this trend line, 1875 resistance. All seller liquidity is below this 1841 key support, and maybe this trend line right here. So let's just go over everything real quick. Gold, like I said, bulls are strong on gold, but you might want to wait a little bit because, you know, there's nothing you could really do right now. We might retest that 1833 key zone on the daily chart. On the daily chart, we have this trend line right here where we're rejecting that trend line exactly. All buyers' liquidity is above that trend line, where you could find potential bull traps above that level. Maybe if we get a bull trap above that level, look to short back down to that 1833 key zone, retest. Then from there, you know, we could see if price holds support from there, you know, to make new higher highs, and so on and so forth. So if you get what I'm saying, so gold, weekly, we're bullish. Daily, bulls are too strong, but it's something you don't want to do. Watching buyers' liquidity above this level, look for bull traps above here to short down to that 1833 support level, maybe that 1855 support level. On that 4-hour chart, like I said, it's not reading anything I would want to take right now, but we're looking at these levels listed for potential traps, right? So that is gold, Euro USD. On the weekly chart, we are bearish, as you can see. We're approaching that 1.14250 key support level right? Price is starting to slow down on a daily chart. We have this doji candle, which is indicating that we can start to turn around a bit. On the hourly chart, you know, price is starting to slow down a bit. All seller liquidity is below this level, and this trend line right here, all buyer liquidity is above this 1.14850 U resistance, maybe this resistance right there. So I'd look for, you know, bear traps here to trade towards, you know, that buyer liquidity level, which overall is above that trend line, right? So that is, and then you want to play it by day from there. But right now, it looks like we're going to slow down, so I'd wait for, you know, traps and then trade towards buyer liquidity. So that's eurusd. All right, so Gbp Jpy, like I said, on the weekly chart, we got this indecisive candle. We dropped into this value. On the daily chart, we aren't reading much volume right here. So like I said, Gbp Jpy, you don't really want to do anything. You just want to play it by day. React to these levels listed. We're looking at this 152, 550 key support, and we're looking at this 153, 440 key resistance on the hourly chart. Like I said, we're in this range, so you just kind of want to play with the range. You want to adapt to the market and trade what you see, right? So that is Gbp Jpy. Gbp Usd, we have this rejection. We're bearish on a long term. But as you can see, we broke support. We came back into support on the daily chart, so we might see a little bit more upside in the beginning of the week. On the hourly chart, we are sort of starting to form this inverted crown, right? So all buyer liquidity is above this trend line and these resistance levels listed. That 800 resistance level on the weekly chart is right here. That is a strong resistance level, so there is a possibility that we chop those above there before, you know, we start to make our way back down. But overall, we are bearish on Gbp Usd. But right now, on, you know, the short term, it looks like we want to trade towards that buyer liquidity level. So on a 15-minute chart, we are reading this crown-like pattern. If we drop first in the beginning of the week, we could see potential bear traps to this level to trade towards that buyer liquidity level. Or if we break out first, trap buyers first, then we'll look for sell opportunities a little later down in the week. All right, guys, that is it. If you are new to the channel, make sure you like this, subscribe to the channel. Keep us motivated to put this content out every day. Other than that, hope you have a fantastic week. If you got any questions, feel free to shoot me a DM, Instagram.com/ZeroDrawDrew. And other than that, I hope you guys have a fantastic fucking week. If you're interested in doing this shit, shoot me a DM and let's get to work. Let's go.